what they call greatness.
My story begins where my story begins. Ireland, my home. I love Ireland so much. I love the sea, the land, but not so much the school. You see, I just don't need it. When I was 7, I beat European chess champion Ivan Rashoghi in 5 moves. When I was 9, I won the architectural competition to design the Dublin Opera House. When I was 10, I cloned the goat. Not that one. Not that one. This one.
Man, I'm the goat.
I named it Bruce. I don't know why. I guess I'm just unusual. And unusual people usually stand out, which is why I found myself in the therapist's office. Well, Artemis, let's begin, shall we? He says. Certainly, sir. He notices that I'm staring at his chair and he starts ranting on about how his grandfather got it from Sotheby's and it was once in the palace. Like, who cares about that stuff, bro? Anyway, he says it was once the Queen's February chair. And from my observations, I doubt that. He digresses. Now, Artemis, there seems to be a problem. The problem is I know the textbook reply to any question you might choose to ask me, sir. The problem is you don't respect anyone enough to treat them as an equal, he counters. That is just ridiculous, sir. I hold several people in the highest esteem. For example, Einstein. I have found his theories to be usually correct. Well, how about someone you actually know? He asks. I'm caught off guard by this. You seem to have all the answers, Doctor. Why don't you read my biography and tell everyone my life story? I might as well have said. Through this, you, my audience, get to learn about the taking of my mother. She was taken from us too soon, the man says. He seems to adore her.
You have your mother's eyes.
Then he brings up my father's mysterious absences from home. I can't help but feel like I'm being attacked. So I lash out in the only way I know how, using my wit. I did not know the palace had fake chairs, I say, and immediately storm out of the room. One thing I like more than my own company is being at home with my father, Artemis Fowl Jr., a dealer of antiquities and rarities in just about every Irish folktale you might care to imagine. Except I did not have to imagine them. See, he taught me everything I needed to know about the leprechauns and the banshees and the goblins and the sprite. So much so that I thought he believed in them. On the rare occasions when he is home, he teaches me everything I need to know about the fairies to prepare me for a day that came much earlier than he had expected or anticipated. The time I dreaded was here. My father was leaving again. He tries to distract me with a story about how fairies and humans made their treaty at Falmouth. I stop him in his tracks. When are you leaving? I ask. Slaps both his palms rapidly on his knees, one after the other, and speaks. The helicopter is being prepared for me as we speak. I'll be back as soon as possible, son.
Well, I have now, Artie. There's just one very important thing I have to do.
At night when I sleep, I think of the old Irish blessing he used to tell me every night before bed.
May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face. May the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may a friend be always near.
That morning I woke up to Alfred talking on the phone suspiciously. I learn about the disappearance of my father from the news. My heart sinks, and I do what any criminal mastermind genius would do. I throw a tantrum. The phone rings and Butler is distracted by the TV. So I managed to give him the slip and answer the phone, and on the other hand,
Hello?
Your family has taken something of great value from us.
Return it to me or I will destroy everything you love.
Butler walks in and has no choice but to show me the Batcave.
You weren't supposed to see this yet. Your father is in a complicated profession. For years, he has protected powerful secrets that have kept mankind safe from the dangers of another world. It's time to face your destiny.
A place where my father and his father's father kept their entire life's work. Collections, artifacts from other worlds. Everything in this room has been catalogued, except one thing, my father's journal. Using the Irish blessing, and with little to no effort, I managed to find it. In the journal, my dad wrote that he took the Akylos in order to protect it, even from the fairies themselves. Could the fairies be real?
It's real.
The journal says the Akylos is somewhere in one manor, but he never wrote where. To find the Akylos, I was going to use the fairies. The fairies would summon the mysterious Akylos finders, the dwarves, or just one. I just need one. In my father's journal, he wrote of a fairy. He wrote of a fairy that would periodically visit an old oak tree on the hill of Tara, close to my home. A few traps on a stakeout later, I have Tinkerbell in a cage. Now all I have to do is wait for the fairy godmother to send someone to come and retrieve her. Based on Vampire Diary rules, which apparently apply to all mystical creatures, the fairies themselves will not be able to enter my home without my permission.
I think you're probably gonna want to let me in.
And so they will have to send a dwarf.
Everybody, stand back.
It's feeding time.
Upon entering my home, the dwarf feels the power of the Akylos and is naturally compelled to discover it and take it. My plan works out perfectly. I now have the Akylos, along with Tinkerbell and the dwarf on my side. After the failure of the dwarf plan, the fairies then send an angry goblin into my home to destroy me. Unfortunately, it kills Alfred before I can put it out of its misery. Thankfully, Tinkerbell is there to bring him back to life. She then also uses the Akylos to bring back my dad. This is the review of the movie. I mean, should you watch it? Should you not watch it? I mean, if you got the time, you got the data to spare, I suggest, you watch it just for the fun of it. It's not a very good movie, but it was entertainingly boring. You should see it. The story of the movie is not so bad. I actually like the fact that the whole movie takes place in one place, like in one location basically. There's multiple locations, but most of it takes place at Fowl Manor. Like this kid, and they're just like trying to show how intelligent his mind is. So basically the movie is taking place in his mind at Fowl Manor. He managed to bring the fairy over to Fowl Manor. It's a really interesting premise, but the way it was implemented was what made the movie boring, and most people loved it.